Yo, what's up guys, Hexx Inkworks here, and today I'm coming at you with a Flux Color package sent to me by Spray Daily. Flux are branded more as an industrial marker rather than a graffiti marker, meaning that it's more along the lines of what writers historically used before graffiti markers were a thing. After opening the box, I am greeted with an arrangement of stickers, including some nice foil Flux ones, some nicely sized hello my name is, and finally these amazing varying train models, which I love. With that done, I'll move on to the actual box now. Now moving on to the markers, I'll start with the smallest one, being these gravity fed Flux mini markers. I love these, they're such a nice idea, and the feature on the top makes it really easy to attach it to your bag or your keychain. Along with the permanent ink and its 3mm tip, it's perfect for doing stickers with. The second thing I pull out is this much bigger 10mm marker that Flux call the FX Pump 100, presumably meaning that FX stands for Flux, Pump is the style of the marker, and 100 being the capacity. It's a nice size, being slightly smaller to that of a traditional 15mm, and the nibs remind me of a different marker brand, but these nibs seem to be made out of a better material as well as being reversible. Now onto the previously mentioned traditional 15mm marker, which they call the FX Pump 150L. This is the bigger brother of the 10mm, and once again the nib reminds me of a different graffiti brand but has the same material as the previous. Now we'll move on to something that they've recently started selling, being their new line of mops. These mops are both called the FX Mop 200L and are basically the same, with both being very similar to the traditional DIY shoe polish mop. They have a 20mm sponge nib, so with that being said, make sure to use it on smoother surfaces. The one on the left reminds me of a version I had a few years ago, while the one on the right has the benefit of a screw top, so hopefully it won't be able to easily leak the excess ink. With the ink being mentioned, Flux describes their ink as penetrating, meaning that it absorbs into the surface, therefore making it a painter buff, so we'll wait and see about that. So let's now get on to the review. So you've seen them, been told about them, and have now been shown them. The markers' bodies themselves are fairly typical, but it serves the purpose, and having a pretty case won't affect how the ink performs, which is a delight, as arguably it will be able to write on anything. As I've shown with the rougher surfaces, you'll just have to move a bit slower so you don't damage the nibs. I have used the smaller 10mm on rougher surfaces more, but surprisingly it just looks well used compared to the brand new looking 15mm. Unfortunately, the same can't be said about the sponge mop tip, but this is a given, as everyone knows not to use these types of tips on rough surfaces. Either way, it's a good job that Spray Daily sent me some more replacements. In regards to the ink itself, you don't need a lot to achieve a nice deep black, and even though I'm not much of an ink user, I can tell that this isn't just your typical formula, as I get a good feeling about using these compared to the other inks I've used in the past. Now, I'm obviously more of a chisel guy, but I did really enjoy using this style of mop. Now, which one would you prefer to use, the chisel or the mop? Tell me in the comments below. But that's it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. This has been Hexx Inkworks with the Flux Color marker review sent to me by Spray Daily. Peace.